Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ryan with Tourettes. I have a new subscriber, IORC4444, and Keith Brown. So those are my two new subscribers on here. I got diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome when I was like 7. And that's Tourette's syndrome in my neck. Happening right now. Sometimes with my Tourette's, I dig into my side with my fingernails. It smells in my room today, so I got this candle lit. Well, it's 1:10 p.m. I really wish I had a girlfriend. I have a headache today and my Tourette's is bothering me. Well, it's 1:11 p.m. Like I said, they diagnosed me with Tourette's syndrome when I was 7 or 8. And I watched a documentary called I Have Tourette's, but Tourette's doesn't have me. I also like to watch Jamie Grace Harper with Tourette's syndrome. And they diagnosed me as a paranoid schizophrenic. I'm 30, and they diagnosed me as a paranoid schizophrenic when I was like 23, 21 or 22, I think. I used to play Super Mario World on Super Nintendo. James is watching some kind of show out there. There was a girl named Eden at my first school that was my friend. And because Eden liked me, this boy named Brandon Drexler liked me. They said I had autism when I was like 8 or 9. Um, I don't talk to my ex-boyfriend anymore. It's been 3 years since I talked to him. I knew I was going to do that. And see, only on one day when I was young, I did things with a boy. I am bi, but I only do things with males when I can't find love with females. And then my ex-boyfriend is a boy with black hair and green eyes. That gets disability for scoliosis. And the disability office approved my disability in 3 weeks. And some people are former military that I've talked to in life who can't get disability. But see, if you write down that there are like 9 or 10 people that you've encountered in your life that are people that you think of and they become real and then they exist and manifest into the world and they exist and they shouldn't. Like this boy named Damon Winning that went to my altar, that makes music, and this boy named Dan Reichley, and Jared and Billy Wesley Fouts, and Margie Rubichaux and Jeanette, and James Colvin and James Cole Carna, my friend Carl, and Alex stole from me, and then he made threats to put things about me on Revolve Report, and Jocelyn and Brandy are people who are real. And I talked to a girl named Shawnee Shortcake, and Rob Meyer is a boy with Dylan Robert and MJ Meyer that exists. And then Jared, there's two Jared Billy Fouts people, coincidence people. There is a boy named Sam that was mean to his lesbian Jewish moms, and I used to be mean to him because I didn't like him being mean to his lesbian Jewish moms. And see, I like Hava Nagila. The song, I like Israel Hava Nagila. I used to hang out with a boy named Cody. And my first girlfriend, Alicia, cheated on me. Oh, and there's a boy named Roy. And then Billy Wesley Faust made a video called Roy Just Had a Bath. And then there's a guy that lives in Maryland called Roy that I don't talk to anymore. And then, what's another people coincidence person? A girl with black hair, Adam Young, Ryan Logan Winning. And really, I just don't feel as if I'm gay or bisexual. Because I feel Brian doesn't count, and then I talked to my friend Brandon Drexler when he saw me with Eden. And then I liked a girl in my school named Rachel, that I talk to sometimes. And Rachel ended up getting with my friend Victor, and then my friend Ryan Dietrich was shot by the police. And it literally took one of my friends dying for my dad George to go out and buy me a car and a license. And see, 3 or 4% of people in the United States have schizophrenia. I have autism, OCD, bipolar, schizophrenia, and Tourette's syndrome. And my grandmother is almost legally blind. And my Sim4 username is Ryan Aliendo. And my first date named Shelby photoshopped a picture of me that says Shelby and Ryan, a match made in hell. And then Victor made fun of me for that. And Fort Bush was the funnest years of my life. That's where I met all my friends. But I hid the fact that I had a boyfriend from the time until I was 17. Until I was 20 or 21 from people. Because I felt like I would be the victim of some kind of hate crime if people knew I was bisexual. And then I told my friend James that I had a boyfriend. And then James was my first threesome when I was 20 or 21. And then when I was 17, Alex made a rip-off report about, Marjorie Brubaker made a rip-off report about me. And I liked a Mexican girl named Kelly to play the violin when I was young. And I sent money to my black friend Davon, and then I have a friend named Dwayne Brown from my alternative school. And then I did a threesome with my friend with black hair. And I like to watch Neuro Super Crystal Cole. And I was just like, you must have the wrong Ryan Fair to people who are my enemies. But overall, I try and get along with everybody. I don't cut my fingernails very often because I'm afraid of getting hurt. I've had 3 psychoses as a paranoid schizophrenic, and on Ryan winning all my videos, had 5 dislikes on them at a time. But I wrote down that not only was my dad George not giving me my disability money, but he would punch me in the face and play games with me during my psychosis. I wrote down that I don't like Marjorie Brubaker for making Ryan George for a rip-off report. And I wrote down that my first best friend Victor screwed me over. I wrote down that Alex, my second threesome, played with switchblades. And I was a member of an extremist witchcraft cult where knives were held to my neck. I wrote down that I have Tourettes with epilepsy, autism, OCD, and bipolar. And I wrote down that there were people in the thing named Tyler and Maria and Jeff and things like that. And I wrote down that I had my first threesome when I was 20 or 21. And see, I didn't even... And see, people that thought that I was, like, bisexual, and I only do things with boys when I can't find love with females. And Billy Wesley Phelps was my boyfriend with scoliosis. And we were together for 4 years, and we used to hug and kiss. And I miss talking to him. And I sent his sister a message, but she blocked me. Because I wanted Jeffree Star to talk to me, because he never let me talk to Jeffree Star. I just don't like Billy as my ex-boyfriend. But I talked to Kelly J. Caldwell, that has a YouTube channel that I did things with only on one day. And then this boy named Jordan Thomas I used to talk to. And then Alex stole from me. And then people like Billy's negative status updates about me. And then Levi Carver drew attention to my psychosis. And I like to listen to Machine Gun Kelly. And then the Rob Meyer People Coincidence Boy is real. I wrote down I was having a seizure from my Tourette's. I wrote down that my dad leaves knives out on the counter and cuts food with knives. I wrote down that I talked to Josh Knight when he noticed my psychosis and he told me I was pathetic. But see, I have no problem with Josh Knight because I used to talk to him when I was 13 or 14. I wrote down, and I knew Hecate was going to do that. I wrote down that I dig into my fingernails with my schizophrenia. I wrote down there's a friend on my Facebook named John Powell and a guy named John Hawk. I wrote down that I have autism. I wrote down that I like to watch Mr. Suprema and Great Granny Gigi and First Roll Aid. Black Girl World was my channel. I wrote down that people think that Ryan George Fair at 902 Jessica Lane is pretend or not real. I wrote down that my girlfriend with black hair left me to be with a rapist. But me and my friend did a threesome, and then me and this boy named Noah, who was Hispanic, had sex with my girlfriend. I wrote down that my stepbrother TJ was mean to me, and I wrote down that my stepdad Tony Mitchell Willie would lock me in closets. And then at the shop right, there's a man named Tony in Bel Air that looks like my stepdad Tony Mitchell Willie, who is a man with red hair that is Amish. And there was a boy that's name was Dylan Franz that worked at ShopRite with me. Jasmine and Brandy worked there. Brooke Dirks was a girl at my school that had schizophrenia and wore glasses, and I got LASIK eye surgery sometime a few years ago. I wrote down that Black Girl World was my channel, and I wrote down that I dated Billy Wesley Fouts. I wrote down that Josh and I contacted me, and Levi Herbert added me on Facebook wanting to relate information. I wrote down I don't have to answer any questions because they pay me $800 a month in disability money anyway. And my job was to sell black web. I wrote down that I went to the thing and they let me drive. I wrote down that my dad George would punch me in the face. And I wrote down that his girlfriend Margie Rubisher never sleeps with him because he has a 5-inch penis and I'm 7.5. And my dad noticed my psychosis and sent me messages telling me I'm going to jail if I talk about Marjorie. But Marjorie's real name is Vicky Rice, and she harassed a man that had AIDS. She harassed Becca 72 and her children. And made to order 555. And I'm not going to stop talking about her because she's just an old tranny, ridiculous dyke. And they pay me in disability money anyway. And I can do whatever I want. And Marjorie only has internet friends. I have James. I had Jared. I visit Marjorie Robichaux and Jeanette sometimes. I saw a boy named Tyler who wanted to kill me not that long ago. I talk to Kelly J. Caldwell sometimes that lives in Bel Air. I was popular at my former school, and I have friends like Jamal that I plan to see sometime. And I talk to the Damon winning boy. I have my friend Austin. And I see my mom and my stepbrother TJ. And no, I don't like Marjorie Brubaker, and I'm not going to stop talking about her. And if she wants to go to the courts and have me locked up for 6 or 7 years, that's fine. I'm not removing my videos. But she can't do anything about my videos. I threw up during my psychosis because I have stomach and bathroom issues. And my dad makes fun of me over my voices and my schizophrenia. And I wrote down Billy Wesley Fouts never let me talk to Jeffree Star, Chris Cracker, or Johnny Boy XO, even though he would talk to him. And people just dislike my videos, so this is for everybody that dislike my videos on Ryan winning. You don't know me, my black friend died from the coronavirus. And Ryan Rosenzweig made a video making fun of me, but really his mom died, and Billy Wesley Fouts, his precious Shirley, laughed when his mom got cancer, and Billy Wesley Fouts doesn't even like him. And Billy Wesley Fouts had an unnatural obsession with me because he was obsessed with me. And Gary is with his new boyfriend. And I drink alcohol when I get my disability money. and I should be getting paid in 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 days. I wrote down that I talk to Dina Bruja and I talk to the skink Hottie D sometimes. I wrote down that I'm a schizophrenic person. And see, Catch Me Outside Daniel Bergoli isn't even a schizophrenic person. Like me, she's only bipolar. I wrote down I have bad depression and anxiety, and I had an anxiety attack at my Furbish school. I wrote down I like Cruella, the band. I wrote down that I like to listen to instrumentals. And I wrote down that I like Eminem. And I wrote down that I like Damon Winning. And I wrote down that I like Lil Wayne and things like that. I wrote down that I like Aisha Woods and Jamie Grace Harper. I wrote down that I wish I was famous because my life is crazy. I was born in a hospital. And only on one day when I was young I did things with Brian, and then I talked to Brandon Drexler, who is a people consonants person, who got me drunk and high for my first time. And then he hooked me up with a girl named Gabby that screwed me over. And Gabby screwed me over. Her name is Gabrielle Elizabeth Garza, and then there's Meg Red, who are two different people that look the same, that are people consonants people. And then Courtney Lynn King stole from me with Alex and slept with Katie and Allison Freeman. And then Michael Keisha talked to me. And people think that Ryan George Ferris pretend are not real. And Levi Carver noticed my psychosis and disliked my videos. And the last thing I told him was I found my 5th girlfriend, Sabrina La Rochelle's channel. And he was like, what does this mean for the story? What it means, you old fat, ugly faggot that has pink hair and blonde hair and you're fat. And this is my body and I have a better body than Levi Carver. When I stand up straight. Because Levi Carver is an old fat piece of shit. It's not like I'm muscular, but I'm not fat. I used to be fat. And this is going on 23 minutes. I'm gonna call this Levi Carver vlog. I'm gonna call this alternative school vlog. I'm gonna call this Tourette syndrome, schizophrenia, bipolar, autism, OCD, and stomach problems vlog. I'm from Ryan George Fred, and it's 1:32 p.m. And my friend James is over, and he's watching some kind of cop show out in the other room. It's been years since I talked to Billy Wesley Faust. I messaged his sister Becca, and she blocked me. But I talked to a girl named Elsie, and Morgan Severin has a YouTube channel. And I used to talk to Morgan years ago. But I don't talk to Morgan anymore. And then Ryan Rosenzweig made fun of me, and Billy Wesley Faust laughed when his mom got cancer. And then I used to do witchcraft with Jeff McGaney, and he did I got this one when my black friend died from the coronavirus. I got this dark angel. I got this Gemini symbol. I got this Grim Reaper because I've thought about killing myself. I wrote down that this girl named Shelby photoshopped a picture of me that said Shelby and Ryan a match made in hell. And I wrote down I was 17 years old until I was 20 when I got with Billy Wesley Faust. I wrote down there was a black boy in my school and a boy named Jake that was mean to me. I wrote down that I have OCD and autism and Tourette syndrome. And I wrote down I was popular in Furbush and Arrow. I wrote down I was sent to Furbush for generalized anxiety disorder and then I became a behavior issue. I wrote down that I will not say I am gay or bisexual. And surely it is more relevant than Alex's playground. And this is going on almost 27 minutes. It is 1:35 p.m. And it's August 2nd, 2022. So everybody's good. Much love and peace to everybody from Ryan George Fair. Ryan with Tourettes. I have 1,019 views on here. And I have 3 subscribers. IORC4444 and Keith Brown. And I wore my red 2-rag that I bought, and I should be getting my disability money soon, and I plan to buy alcohol. I brushed my teeth today, and my friend James is over. I hope everybody's good. Much love and peace to everybody from Ryan living with Tourette's syndrome, schizophrenia, autism, OCD, bipolar depression, and autism.